Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the War Room, and we are in Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa. It is June 18th of 1941, and we are about to set up for one of the biggest, most ambitious invasions ever seen in the world, albeit next to D-Day. It is Operation Barbarossa, the Ostfront, and we're about to play this game. Now, I don't want to bore too much of how the game plays, but basically, it's a hex and counter board game. And as I play the game, we'll go over the decisions of what I'm making and how these units are played out and how they work. But basically, all the way to the left here are all your German units, our units. On the right is your Russian units. So before we even get into the battle, which starts historically June 22nd, we have to go to Germany and talk to the Fuhrer. So our EPS's reports. We're being summoned to Berlin, 10 o'clock Monday. All right. So the Fuhrer is requesting my presence so we can discuss our strategy. So I have 3 decisions down here. They cost 0 political points. I have 22 to start with. Not a lot. Basically, I'm like a mid-level guy. All right, even though I'm going to be the field marshal, I don't have much help in this matter. I can either support Hitler's plans, I can go to Moscow or bust, or I can demand military independence. Now, if I open these up, so basically what he's asking is that he's telling us that the conquest of Russian land is to be pursued. It is the most important thing right now that they can think of, and so we're being tasked to, exploit this plan and to make it a reality for Hitler, basically. All right. If I support Hitler, I have to agree unconditionally support his strategy and ambitions in the East. This option is considered the easiest. Basically, he's going to tell me what to do, and I have to do it. All right, my relationship with Hitler will improve. The Fuhrer will provide me with resources I need. I will gain substantial PP bonus, so I'm going to have extra added to what I have. And these are important. These do come in handy later. All right. There will be a measure of interference. Since I'm agreeing to the Fuhrer to basically doing whatever he needs, he's going to tell me what to do. There's going to be some conferences, and eventually he may change his mind. He may route me back somewhere else, what have you. But this is considered the easiest direction to start. If I do Moscow or bust, some of my more line staff and my supervisors will like me, right? My job will be to capture Moscow and hold it until January 42. If I support Hitler, it's whatever he wants. So he'll tell me what he wants me to go after. And then military independence. Basically, I'm telling all of them, hey, back off, give me the minimal support, let me do my own thing. So no interference, I do my own thing, and that's the end of it. It's supposed to be the hardest. So to get the game going, I'm going to go ahead and support Hitler's plans and get the most points and see where the game takes us. So I'll decide that's 0 political points. I get 70 added to my 22. All right, the Fuhrer is satisfied. All right, good. Good for him. All right. Now we have a couple of things we have to go over. We have a spy at Minsk. He wants us to go after a oil train. Oil train. This report bundle gives me all kinds of information on people who have any kind of stake in this operation. All right. So Walther Funk, he wants us to get as much oil as possible. All right. F.M. Bach, he is not for that. Okay. We ignore the minor matter of the oil train and proceed as planned. This is one of my Walther Funk is above me. He's a supervisor, or at least an officer above me. Bach is one of my subordinates. He's telling me, hey, let's keep going. I can get information on my spy network, my oil issues, option cost breakdown. Option cost breakdown kind of tells you what's going to happen here for the most part. Sometimes you get no information. Sometimes you get information. This doesn't really give me much. So some of the countries like Finland and what have you, Romania, they have stockpiles, and they're asking us if we want to go and, let's see, do we want to like take people's oil? I don't know. Let's see. Keitel, he's saying he wants us to support Rommel in the north. All right. So he wants us to grab that oil. Yodel. Any changes to oil allocations may result in disruption and disarray amongst our commands and may preclude our various operational programs. Okay. Von Brostich. That's my supervisor. He's telling me, let's see, he wants more oil to the eastern front. Yodel. Let's see. Oh, just information on Yodel. So my supervisor wants it. If I petition Hitler directly to make the decision, that's 16 political points. I don't want to be spending points like a madman, so let's not do that. Let's live with what we got for now. I have a lot of political points, but you'll see very, very quickly that those can go really fast. All right, select route for AGN, Army Group North. All right, so we have construction battalions. Here's the thing. Let me put this away for a second. Here's the thing about the construction battalions. As we go into Russian territory, the Russian rails were different from German rails, right? So construction battalions, as we go, are going to start converting this rail into German rail as we clear up the areas up ahead. So we have to predetermine, or not, what, see here, you see the black rail for the Germans, and then the Russians. They had different gauge. They had different types of rail systems altogether. So we have to decide, if Army Group North is going a certain direction, do the construction battalions go with them? Or do we not care? So here, I'll show you what I mean. So Kaunas, Riga, Narva line. That's the first one. All right, let's take a look. Kaunas, Riga, Narva. So as my Army Group North is pushing north, if I follow up to Riga and then over to Narva, the construction battalion will be safe behind my army's converting line. But if for some reason I forget about that and I go out east directly and I leave them alone, they start getting attacked and then they start getting disrupted and it becomes an issue. So deciding where you're going to go could be a big deal. Now, if you don't want to decide, you don't have to. This decision is beneath you. I'm going to go ahead and decide no. I'm going to let it go. Now, Gurkey is upset because I didn't make a decision, but that's part of the game. You're going to piss off people and you're going to make people happy. All right? But right now with the fight, about to commence, I'd rather have my frontline guys happy than worry about logistics right now. Army Group Center, same thing. Okay. Gurkey's pissed off. Workshop facilities. As it stands, Barbarossa will be commencing with 1/5 of the gross transport truck columns out of service. There's still enough time for these trucks to be repaired, provided the workshop facilities in the zone interior are upgraded as a matter of urgency. All right. Let's see what the guys have to say about it. All right. If I lobby to improve the workshop facilities, there's a 75% chance of me getting it for 12 political points, or 25% for 4. Let's see. What does Yodel say? So Yodel's like, what the hell are we talking about here? He's like, we're about to commence with the biggest operation we've ever had, which is true. Why are we worried about stuff like this, right? So I like that. I like that. Let's do a decision. General Wagner's unimpressed. Apparently he's all about logistics and working support and all that stuff. Yodel's pleased. That's good. Yeah, I'm kind of going the route that I want my frontline guys, my direct supervisors to be happy and my subordinates to be happy right now, because we're just starting out. All right, we got some what-if scenarios. What if Romania? It says here, we can trust FM Antonescu. I believe him to be a reliable ally who has the support of the Iron Guard. I recommend he be fully involved in the planning and execution of the southern theater of Operation Barbarossa. He has informed me that Romanian forces will be available to launch our offensive simultaneously with the rest of the Ostfront. This option will allow the forces on the Romanian front to launch their offensives on the first turn along with everybody else. All right. So, Ribbentrop, who was like the political attaché for Germany, He's saying that are to be trusted, but it might be wise for me to counsel caution and suggest the Romanians be left out of all planning and preparations. Okay. Interesting. They return 1 turn earlier, 1 turn later. No change. All right. We're going to go real simple with this, guys. All right. I have been in discussions with the Finnish Prime Minister, Risto Ryti, and he informs me that Finland is willing to sign a binding military alliance with us. This option ensures that once either Luga or Narva have been captured, Finland will automatically agree to cross the Finnish-Soviet historical border. Ooh. That's minus 10 victory points, though. Because it's not historical. So, what does Ribbentrop have to say with it? So it says here, Prime Minister Risto Ryti may balk at actually putting pen to paper when it comes to a full binding alliance, but it may well be possible to have him sign a mutual assistance agreement. This wouldn't be ideal as it doesn't commit the Finns to immediate action, but it would improve the chances of them acting in support of our attack on Leningrad when the time came. This option ensures that once either Luga or Narva have been captured, the chances of Finland agreeing to cross the Finnish-Soviet historical border are doubled. So that's negative 10 victory points. I can do status quo. I think I'm going to do the mutual assistance agreement and see what that does. I think that might be cool. We'll try that one. The Finnish government has signed a mutual assistance agreement. Once Narva or Luga have been captured, the chances of the Finnish government authorizing their forces across the historical Finnish-Soviet border are doubled. Negative 5 victory points. Cool. So now we've made all our decisions. Now, here's the thing about these decisions. You don't have to make any of these decisions. You can just, move forward with the game and not worried about any of it. However, they'll make decisions for you. You don't know what directions they're going to go. You're leaving it to your line staff to make those decisions. So, all right, so we're done. Let's go ahead and start the game by pressing the end your turn button. So really quickly, end your turn, save, quit, history, all the history of decisions you make. That's going to be a really important screen for you. Because as time goes on, you're going to forget. All right. Really quickly, here's your preference for all your stuff, your sounds and stuff like that. Brief gives you a quick brief of everything that's going on in the game. Okay. Stats, if you need to go through the stats. Order of battle, try to figure out who's where. Here's Army Group North. I can pull up everything. I have the 4th Panzer Group, 18th Army, 16th Army, and I can find each unit as I see fit, and it'll bring it up right here at the bottom. Shows me what kind of units are there. This is a German infantry with a pretty decent artillery. Unit details. All right. While we're here, I'll go over that. This game goes on action points. They accumulate over time depending on your supply level, and then you can spend these action points to do things. If I hover my little mouse up here, here's a plains in Germany. It shows you, like here, if you look at the move type, AP cost. For the foot soldier to go through there, it costs 25 action points, right? If it's a road, only 20, right? Not bad, not bad. Pretty easy to read. Kind of, any penalties in the zone. It'll tell you if there's any penalties, things like that. There's 0 cover, so you have less defensive modifiers. All right, you can click on any area. Even the Soviet Union gives you an idea. All right. If you click on stacks, you can see all the units down here in the stack. This obviously is the, hold on, that is your HQ for this particular unit. And you know which ones they belong to because of the purple. So all the purple will fall under this HQ. You want them to be within this green or light green area. That's going to supply them with all the stuff that they need so you can get those action points so you can attack later. And we'll get into that further because, we're going to start the game here. All right. The North Army Group, the Center Army Group, and South are divided by this red line. I don't know if you can see that on the screen, but there's one here. This is all your North Army Group. This one to here is your center, and then South. Here's the Romanians. Up here is the Finnish. Okay. Now when we start the game, we're going to have this called cards. These are like little cards There's only a few of them, and you play the cards using political points, and these political points are going to allow you to do special things throughout the game. It might be to bring in artillery or to get some Luftwaffe support. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and press and end our turn. It's going to go through its cycle. It's going to allow the Soviet Union to do their thing. This round, usually not much happens. It's just just a logistical round. Here, now it's already starting. Okay, now this is when this pops up, this is a diary. It has nothing to do with the game. It's just for information purposes as you want to read it. Okay, this here though, the Führer, after listening to all the advice, has issued a directive and expects all commanders to adhere to his preferred strategy. No further discussion will be entered into. Strategic intent. Priority number 1, Rostov for the south. Priority number 2 is Leningrad in the north. 3 is destroy army HQs. And 4 is Moscow center. All right. And you get points. You get political points as you take these. If you can take an army HQ, I suggest you do it because that'll give you more points. You will run out of points at some point in this game. So you have to make progress to get more money, in-game money, basically. That's what political points are. All right, aide de camp gives you an idea what's going on here. Shows you have a poor relationship with Rundstedt. Let's see, you got decisions to make for command focus. These are cards that I talked about. You don't have to play any of these cards, but it's just letting you know that there's no focus right now in any of the groups. All right, what your artillery's up to, Luftwaffe. All right, and we'll go from there. Fun little thing about certain guys in the group. I let this on here. Because it's just fun. This is about Hugo, right? If you get a chance to read it, you can. But they're not real. All right, so now you can see your supply trucks, right? These are your supply trucks. Green means that they're fully supplied. They're getting to their areas. All right. They go to AG North here, and then it gets distributed to all of the HQs underneath AGN. Same thing here. You can see all the supply going to AGC Center. Same thing. So far, we're fully supplied. So, I'm going to end the game here with some reports. Let's talk about what we've got. All right. Russian oil. Experience has shown that capturing Russian gasoline damages Panzer and truck engines. Investigations have concluded that it requires the addition of benzene to make it acceptable for our engines. Refining is the only way to do this in bulk. Allocating refining capacity to this task would enable the exploitation of a free resource. Okay. Looks like Walther's all for it. Bostich. He's saying there's no guarantee that the campaign will be over by the end of the summer. It would be wise to utilize every advantage we can, so he's for it. Let's see, Keitel. The Führer has made it abundantly clear that the Soviet army will be defeated by the end of the summer. Yeah, sure. And then we have ample stocks of gasoline for our requirements, and I see no need to disrupt our oil industry on a fool's errand. Captured gasoline can be stockpiled and converted later for use by the Africa Corps if needed. So you got Keitel saying, hey, forget it, go forward, capture as you go. This is what the Führer would want. So I'm going to let you guys decide what we're going to do with that. D2 air offensive. The Luftwaffe, all right. So far they've been successful. There are over 2,000 enemy planes destroyed on the ground at a cost of 40 of our own. That's pretty good. All right. It is important that not to forget that we are fighting a primitive people, and we should not expect them to have harnessed the power of flight to achieve military aims. Wow. They're just as Nazi here in the game as they were in real life. Nor should we be surprised when they manifestly fail to take even basic defensive precautions at their airfields. It will be a short campaign. All right. So Goring, he's saying they've done a knockout blow. He wants the Luftwaffe to be left to sustain the air offensive against transport choke points, command bunkers, vehicle depots, and railway stations. All right, so he wants us to continue on the fight with the Air Force. Brostich, your supervisor, he wants us to cancel the air offensive. Leave it as it is. All right. Order all 3 Luftflugts to switch over immediately to ground support of our Panzergruppen. So instead of going after the Air Force, he wants ground support. What do you guys think? Interesting. Ignore Goering. What Reichsmarschall ever wanted to cease a successful air offensive? Without ground support from the Luftwaffe, our fast divisions may not be able to break out as planned. That's an interesting point. So what do you guys think? Should we keep going after the air supply or the air support, the Russian air support, or do we switch over to ground support and start assisting our panzer units? And finally, security divisions. So it says here, let's see, General Lieutenant von Rox is a Huguenot nobility with a long family tradition of military service. All right. He was training with the rifle battalions. You guys could stop and read this if you want to. I'm just going to skim through it. So it looks like this guy here is kind of a silver spoon type dude. I guess he has some kind of political pull. He is currently commanding the CDR 707th Rear Area Army. I can offer no recommendation other than suggest that you keep a sharp eye on him. Is he doing a decent job of mopping up? Should he be switched to anti-partisan duties? Either way, make sure the man spends his time out in the field and not propping up near spar. Okay. So what they're asking here is, as we go forward, we're going to have partisans popping up. We don't want that. We want good men to either stop the partisans or keep them up on mop-up duty and take in prisoners. And so far, he's mopping up. Okay, so do we switch him over to security? Do we leave him up on the mop-up detail? Do we leave him up for a month? Right? This may piss off some people. It says leave here. Let's see. So it says here he's for him just mopping up. So I think it's the beginning of the war. I think we should just leave him as is and not really worry about it until we go further into Russian territory. Right now, worrying about stuff like this is just kind of, I think it's trivial right now. So let me go backwards here. So you guys tell me, are we going after this Russian oil? What about the air group? Are we going to go after airplanes or are we going to do ground support? And then this guy, this privileged little guy here, are we going to put him on, keep him on mop-up duty, or are we going to have him fight partisans? Looks like he's a barfly, so I don't know. You let me know, and I appreciate you guys spending time with me and learning this new game, and I will see you in 4 days.